All right, and welcome to the Aunty Donna podcast. This is the third in the banked series of podcasts.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, yeah. Yeah, this is the third one.
This is the third one.
Yeah.
I thought the last one ended on such a great note. It was so clearly a finale for me.
Yeah.
To the second episode. Ended much in the way that The Empire Strikes Back ended. So little open-ended.
Yeah.
You know, we tied up all the loose ends, but you know that there's more story to come. Some argue. Yeah. Sorry, go Zach.
No, I was going to say it ended another great ending to a story. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1.
Well, that's I mean, that's the middle. That ends in the middle of a story.
That beautiful 2-act film where it's 1 act for 2/3 of the film and then 1/3 of an act. And then it ends sort of halfway through an act. So,
Zach, I've known
beautiful
you
ending, like my favourite movie, the finale to the Avengers series, Avengers Endgame.
Well, yeah.
Right, what's the last one?
Yeah, Endgame.
What's the one before that?
Ultron. You meant to say Age of Ultron.
Shut up.
No, you meant to say the one
No,
before.
Age of Ultron's not the one, is it?
No, the one before Endgame.
Infinity War?
Oh, Infinity War. Sorry.
Okay. Oh, it's my favourite. Oh, fucking forget it.
No, Broden. I'm sorry. I misunderstood what you were doing. Because I consider Infinity War and Endgame one movie that I call Endgame. So that's
we will
why I was
see
a bit
you
confused.
next week.
No. We've already started.
And welcome to this week's podcast.
Welcome to this week's podcast.
We are talking Marvel movies. Now, Broden, your favourite Marvel movie was... your favourite ending to the Avengers story was Infinity War. Isn't that funny? Because it's not actually the ending.
Yeah.
I just want to be really clear here, Mark, that we are starting here. I've just decided this is the start.
No, you can't do that. I should be allowed to choose when we start, and I say we start when I said we started.
No, that was a week ago. That was the end. That was the joke.
I think we leave it up to Tom. I think Tom should get to decide. And Tom, know that whoever you pick will determine whether you get a computer or not. Is all I'm going to say.
So you of course have offered to give Tom your second-hand computer, and you're threatening that now.
I'm putting it on the line.
Tom,
I'm putting it on the line for him. Based on who he chooses.
Okay, that's fair.
What are you going to offer or take away from Zach?
If that is the game,
what are you
if that is the game we're playing now, Tom, I want you to hear me straight here. I'm gonna kill your family.
Oh my God,
Tom! If you don't choose my ending, I'm gonna kill your family.
Well, that's. I would say, Tom.
Computer or family?
I would say.
It's fun. A computer's fun.
Yeah, but I would say, Tom, that Zach's probably not going to kill your family.
Probably.
I reckon he's gone out. He's pushed it pretty far there.
Yeah.
I will legitimately not give you my computer if you don't pick mine.
Now, Tom, I just want to say, I'm probably not going to kill your family. I reckon I won't. Okay, that's fine. That's the choice.
That's fine. That's the choice.
That's the choice is probably. Welcome to the Aunty Donna podcast.
We've been here. We've been in it for about 5 minutes now.
If you remember from last week, we ended on Mark and Zach having an argument about whether.
No.
And welcome to the Aunty Donna podcast, episode 3.
Hey, Broden, thanks so much. I'm just marking this timestamp for Broden. Fantastic. Okay, how are you, Broden? Welcome. It's out. The show's out.
So exciting. I hope you liked it. Let's do spoilers, right?
Spoiler warning.
Episode 1 is about finding a housemate.
No, spoiler warning. Real spoiler warning.
This is real spoiler. This is going to spoil the show for you.
Do watch
not
the show
listen.
right now and then come and listen to it. It's only like 2 hours when you add it up. Every episode's 20 minutes.
This podcast is going to go forever.
That 3 week
The scissors
saga.
broke.
Don't worry, I've still got the gavies, mate.
You still got too fatty. Yeah, great. The podcast is out, but so is the series. So
Did you fuck that up?
Nope. No. So watch the series before you listen to this podcast because
That's a spoiler.
The podcast is out, and so is the series.
Smooth. Thank you so much for joining us on the Aunty Donna podcast. The series is out. The series is most definitely out. Mark, Broden, we've got to do a spoiler warning here because
We've done all this.
because we're nerds.
We've done all of this.
But they're coming in. They're coming in. They don't remember. We're banking.
It's not a cinema. They played this podcast, and I said spoiler alert.
Yeah, we already said it.
It's a real spoiler alert. We might talk about the fact the Queen's in it. Oh no, the trailer spoiled that already.
Hey, episode 1 is about housemates. Episode 2 is about treasure. Episode 3 is about Olympics. Episode 4 is about romance. Episode 5 is about nighttime. And episode 6 is about the Queen coming over.
About a dinner party. The Queen is coming for dinner.
Mark, talk to that. Talk to every episode and why we did that.
Do I need to explain that we're banking them?
I think it's clear.
We've said it many times.
We said it many times last week. You're a listener. You're just tuning in. You don't know we're banking them.
We're banking them.
So we've banked 5 this week. Sorry, you guys.
Oh, God.
So, let's get serious. We've been trying to make TV for a long time, and every time we've made a pilot, people have then been like, the networks have been like, hey, this was shit. We don't want to make any more of these. And we're always told that we couldn't do what we did on YouTube. We weren't allowed to do on TV. We weren't allowed to do it.
One person said to me on the phone once when they told us something, when he said end of the road, he said, your film stuff's not there.
Yes, they said your film stuff's not there. And we also kept being told, which was... I think it was, but... No. It wasn't. It wasn't.
Let's beep that name.
That's right.
But it wasn't. I can say it wasn't.
But you put his hat into the ring.
But it wasn't. I'm saying that's not a hat we're putting in the ring.
That's true, it wasn't. I forgot that it wasn't.
Tom, you should beep.
Beep that name every time Zach says it. Now, so for so many years, we were like under the impression, right, no one's going to give us a show if we just do what we want to do. If we just take what we do on YouTube and put it on TV, we're always going to come up with some sort of hat. We got to put a hat on top of it. It's got to be something else. And then eventually it got to the point after we were trying to pitch shows in America, sketch shows that had all these different ideas. They were a blend of sitcom, they were a blend of this, they were a blend of that, blah, 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 blah.
Shitcom.
Yeah, but shitcom, right? Eventually what we had pitched back to us by our producer and a TV exec was why can't it just...
Can I just say who that TV executive was not?
Don't do this. Poor Tom.
Poor Tom. I didn't think we had to beep it because it wasn't him. Anyway, our producer, what did he pitch to us, Mark?
What they pitched back to us.
We're banking them. If I had been able to explain that we were banking them.
Padish sounds like something you'd order from A1 Bakery.
Padish.
I'll get a padish, please.
Could I get a padish, please? I'd love it. Would I like that toasted? Yes, please.
Yeah, I'll get the padish.
Excuse me, sorry. Would I like that toasted? Yes, please.
Do you still have any halloumi padishes, or do you only have...
I'm so sorry. There seems to be a mistake. You've only charged me $9 for my entire meal. I'm so sorry. You've only charged me $9 for 3 padishes. Oh, that's correct. Oh, sorry, that's correct.
Oh, they're very
that's
cheap.
fantastic.
These
That's a cheap lunch.
petitions are a cheap lunch.
How much per padish? Per padish?
I'll just get spinach and pepperoni padish, please.
How much is a per dish? Oh wow, $3.20. That's so reasonable.
Go on, Mark.
$3.20, you say? How
So
reasonable?
what we had pitched back to us was, why can't it just be you guys living in a house together? And the idea originally was, what if it's like, what are you doing, Sam?
Sorry, I'm watching a sketch. I just saw it on Instagram. It's called $30 bottle of wine.
Oh, you fucking cunt.
Go, Mark, go.
Go, Matt, go.
Why can't it be you guys living in a house? And the original idea was that the house was like big and crazy, like Pee Wee Herman's
Yeah.
Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse. That's the name of the show, yeah. And that the house would be like alive and be like big and cartoony, and every episode would revolve around a word of the day or a theme. And we really gravitated towards that because we were like, that's basically Aunty Donna's Rumpus Room, which is the first show, with the first web series we ever fucking made.
Which was shot at Izzy Mason's house.
Shot at Izzy Mason's house in her rumpus room, an ex-girlfriend of mine. And so then we really gravitated towards that. Broden, what is that face? What was that? I've lost it. I'm fucking gone.
Oh,
I'm
but
fucking
they're
gone.
going to think you're crazy. They're going to just think you're crazy because they probably don't remember last week that we said we were banking them, and then you won't let me
banking
tell them
them.
that we're banking them.
I
and
know
now they
you've
just
told
think
them
you're
every
crazy.
episode.
Shut up.
So anyway, cunt.
Wriggly worm.
He is a wriggly worm. Zach is
Anyway.
a wriggly worm.
Wriggly worm.
You take over, Broden.
Another thing we realised, and I think we've talked about this
I
already.
got this.
All right, we'll take it in turns.
Yeah.
What we also realised is that when we like giving ourselves a sandpit, so like a school or an office in 99.
Or a sandpit.
Yes, or a sand.
Not your turn, Zach.
I'm just
Wait
saying,
your fucking
if
turn.
you're doing a list of examples, we could set a sketch show in a sandpit.
But we
We could
haven't.
set an episode. We could set an episode in the sandpit, sure.
Anyway, in this we went, every episode should be a different sandpit. First one should be roommates in a house. So we wrote sketches to what's it like to live in a house. And we sat there and we talked about all the fun things we did when we were in university and we lived in different houses. And then the second one, Treasure, was just about, like a really high concept one where we wrote about finding treasure.
What?
Mark, you can sneeze?
Sure. Sneeze. I think I'm so sorry. Tom, beep those sneezes out if you could, please.
Tom, you don't have to beep them out.
What was the way where some of the words came from? Some of the words were like, "Oh, it'd be fun to build sketches around the idea of nighttime, right? Where it's just themed, and let's write to that." But some of the other ones came out of what would a funny little plot be. I think we talked about this in the structure episode,
Which hasn't come out yet.
Which hasn't come out yet, but we had a very. Guys, you really should watch the video for these ones because Broden is doing some of the goofiest stuff I have ever seen.
So when Broden does it, it's goofy and everyone should watch it. When I do it, it's Zach, I'm trying to explain the thing. Stop saying that executive's name because it means Tom will have to beep it out. I hate you.
Well, it's one of those things. It's like chili in a dish, Zach. Some chili is really good. When it's all chili, I don't want to work with you anymore.
Yeah, I understand. Here's my issue with you. Here's my issue with you, Mark. I didn't want to bank him. I just wanted to do one
No,
today.
you said you wanted to bank them. You said you would love nothing more than banking them.
Yeah,
Those
I
were
did.
your
I sat you
exact
down.
words.
I made such a big case for banking him. But if I knew it would tear us apart like this, I wouldn't have banked him.
But that's very much how we wrote the show.
Oh, he's sticking his tongue out at Mark. Oh, guys, they're sticking their tongue out at each other.
I don't know if this is enjoyable to listen to.
Spoiler warning. We gotta warn you, there's spoilers.
Oh, there's spoilers. Yeah, we're going to talk spoilers. But as Broden was saying, because as you'll see in the show, there's a mix of sketches that you might be familiar with, some brand new stuff, and other ones where we took sort of like the structure or the shape of sketches we've done before and gave them a bit of a new coat of paint. And where we started was with the words of the day. That's what every episode started with. And then from that, we went, okay, what sketches do we have that'll fit into that? What new sketch ideas do we have that could go into there? And we had, the other thing I wanted to talk about, fuck it, I don't care. Let's go, let's do it. Let's talk about it.
Oh, Mark, what are you doing?
No, let's do it. Do you remember the thing that we had? We had one thing. So, because I was thinking about the board, and I was like, on the top of the board, we had the words of the day, and then we wrote sketches underneath that. But that's not what we had on the top of the board. Do you remember what we had on the very top of the board?
Was it whatever's funniest?
No.
Okay.
I think that was one of them, which has been our philosophy from the very start. That's been sort of our company DNA.
Was it
Padish? Whatever's funniest. It was a Padish, which I think they've dropped the price. At A1, you can get them for like $3.20 now. Anyway. That's for a halloumi one. We had the idea for us for the show, and every time we were writing it, and the thing we kept coming back to was, it's us fucking with a Netflix show.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah.
That's what we had, which is why we break the fourth wall so much, and why we, you see, like in the second episode after Alan, which was so great to finally like shoot and do properly. I really love that sketch. It's probably my favorite sketch in the whole show in terms of its execution. Oh, you really got to check out the video. You really got to check out the video.
I make a wriggly worm.
Then we go...
Can I say another thing to that, Mark?
Yeah.
Fun fact was one thing we really wanted to avoid is breaking the form too early. Like you have to set up the form before you break it. There's a series that I love. It's I think Toast of London. I think a few of you guys love it as well.
You misheard me. I like toast for breakfast.
Broden, come on, mate. We've got to get some info across. Broden, mate, come on. We've got to get some info across, mate. Please try to be a little more serious. So come on, mate. Come on now.
Toast for breakfast.
So Toast of London was a... Come on, guys. Come on. We've got to be a little bit serious here.
Oh, God.
We're gonna start wrapping this up.
Toast of London.
All right.
So Toast of London opens the first episode. They break the fourth wall so much. He's on set, and it's too much. I don't know what this world is. I don't know what they do. And I go, God, if this is what they're going to do in episode 1, what are they going to do in episode 2? And I never actually watched through. I watched the first episode a couple of times, and then I never continued watching. And then I did, and I was like, this show is one of my favourite shows. And I was like very insistent that we have to establish the form before we break it. So Treasure, which is episode 2, which you all watched it last night. You binged it last night. Treasure, which is episode 2, was originally episode 3. And then there was talk of a reshuffle from Netflix and stuff, and we were like able to do it. But my biggest thing, I was so worried about breaking the fourth wall on episode 2, and it was Comedy Bang Bang Man.
Scott Aukerman
from The Mr. Show. And he said to us, he was like, oh man, people have been breaking the fourth wall, breaking form for so long here in the US. It's fine. You can do it in episode 2. And we're like, okay.
Yeah, because originally, because what happened was
Australia, but we're breaking the fourth wall here, man.
This is what happened. One of my favorite episodes is one of my favorite episodes is Romance, and that was originally episode 2. And when we did the table read with Romance as episode 2, Netflix said to us, it's not. That episode is the least weird They were like, we love how the episodes go really crazy and take all these weird left turns. And they were like, romance to us was the least surprising. So we went back, we rewrote it, we made it super weird. We added all this extra stuff.
There was also the layer that it was originally Broden was going on a date and we were supporting him. And we were like, all right, let's make it all three of us are going on a date because polyamory, weird.
Yeah, super weird and bizarre and hot and horny.
So hot.
But so strange.
But if you want to do that, go for it.
And I am doing it, and you should,
nice.
and it's only for your benefit.
Yeah, give me some of that mark. I didn't know I had permission.
You have permission to come and fuck me in the
Shut
mouth.
up. Everyone shut up.
So,
Everybody shut up. You shut up.
Can I say one thing real quick?
Here we go.
wait
Do you know
for
what,
this.
we're often talking about Mr. Show and the way that sketches flowed together. A great sketch show from the 90s. Mr. Show is the structure, how great the structure of Mr. Show is and how brilliant that was.
Yeah.
And then, like, in the process, found out Scott was a writer on it. And, like, one day he just flippantly said, Mr. Show, he did the flow thing and it didn't work. And we're,
Oh,
oh, no.
yeah, I had no idea he wrote on that fucking show.
I remember that's I love that. We did the flow thing and it didn't work. The way I found out, or I don't know if I found out, the way I started, I didn't I could have looked at his IMDb page. God, fucking idiot. We went to his Christmas party and we were like, oh, that'll be nice little Christmas party. Maybe Paul F. Tompkins will be there. And it was filled with all the famous people. And it was very intimidating.
Elizabeth Banks was there.
And
Haley Joel Osment was there. And
Zach
Charlie Day
Galifianakis.
was there. Zach Galifianakis was there. And Jordan Peele was there. And John Hamm was there. And Weird Al Yankovic was there. We hadn't met him yet.
And I remember we said to Corinne, who
Mark's brother was there.
Mark's brother was there.
And my dad Charlie was there.
I said to Corinne, what's Corinne's title in the show? She's a production something. You know, Corinne, very
She's
important.
producer.
Is she a producer? Oh, great.
I think so.
We said, oh, Corinne, oh my God, Weird Al Yankovic is here. And she was like, oh, you're going to have a good time. I was there like, oh my God, Weird Al Yankovic is over there getting some spring rolls. And she's like, oh, you're going to have a good time. And then Kenneth Parcell from 30 Rock came.
Kenneth was there. I had a good chat with Kenneth.
And it was a great time. Anyway, the point is there was a big poster for Mr. Show up, and I nearly said to him, oh, wow, you're a fan of Mr. Show too? And then I didn't, and thank God, because then I found out he wrote on Mr. Show, and I would have felt like an idiot, because I love Mr. Show, and it's a huge influence. And then, he was like, I didn't quite work for this reason.
Scott Aukerman has a comic book library in his house.
Finish the story about the episodes.
Oh, yeah.
Finish the story, I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. And the reason he was saying the flow thing didn't work in Mr. Show, the reason he was saying that was because they were unable to move sketches around in an episode. What we found was we did a lot of work in the writer's room to structure the episodes in a way that we thought would work, right? To put all the sketches next to each other. And then what we found in the edit room, not once were we right. Not once did we get it right. We had to reshuffle the order of the sketches in every episode to make the episodes work.
But we did try to make it modular. I will say that. We did try to go... One of the things we tried to do was we'd have the start, we'd have the end, and we tried to have as much as possible in the middle not relate to other sketches in the middle, which was a thing we learnt when we developed the live show for Glenridge. You have the start, you have the end, and then you have a whole bunch of sketches that are... The inciting incident is shared, so then you can reorder it. And, And we did that for the most part. And when we didn't do it, romance was one of them, where there were things where someone would go somewhere so they weren't in the sketch, or there were things in romance and it made it a hard edit in the end. So it was a good lesson, because romance loved the script, but it was really hard. We had to cut a sketch.
And on the other side of that, though, nighttime is the most... I thought nighttime was the hardest to move around because half of the episode is like this, then this, then this.
Yeah.
And that kind of really locked us in. And we probably had to make some compromises in like sketches that should have been earlier or should have been laid out or in the wrong place. But the flow of it actually was worth it.
And funnily enough, the least plot as well. Nighttime is bound by nighttime.
Oh, it has no plot. Yeah, there is literally no plot. It's
And,
the only episode that doesn't have that thread. It's pure theme.
And it was nice, and I would do more of them, but that's not about that. We got this series, and it's such a thrill. This is the top of the mountain. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much for listening.
Now, should I tell them about the fun?
What do you guys say to
game?
13 more minutes?
I love it. Now, is there a fun game? There's a fun game we're going to play with
All right.
us. It's a little Aunty Donna club. No, Mark, you have to be at a thing. We know that. We're going to play a fun game with all of the members of the Aunty Donna club. It's called How Many Mates Can You Encourage to Binge Watch Aunty Donna's Big Ol' House of Fun this weekend? It's a little game we're playing. We thought it'd be really funny. Maybe
It'd be really funny if you
competitive.
logged into everyone you know's account and just streamed it through on all of their profiles. Like, that would be fucking funny.
And even just like ringing up your folks and being like, you might not like this show, but can you just, when you leave the house to go do the shop, can you just press play? Just press play on it, let
That'd
it play
be
in the
funny.
house, and then
We
go,
just-
that
That'd be
would be
funny.
hysterical.
You know what'd be funny is hopping on IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes and
Yeah.
just like logging in and giving it 100 on both.
Yeah,
How
that's
funny would that
fucking
be?
funny
Or even like a
shit, man.
9.5, the highest you can give without tipping off the algorithm, like a 9.7. Whatever
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah.
give that's close to 10, but not like, would be hilarious.
It's actually a funny joke. Like, that's actually a funny
We
joke.
don't want you guys, you all to compete with each other. You know, we love all of you, but we reckon we'll probably give like a fun pet name to whoever convinces the most friends to binge watch this show this coming weekend. So get in there and have a laugh with your friends. I've got 30 friends to binge watch it. Well, I've got a party. That would be funny. And that's
Zach just literally stopped. Zach
Yeah,
literally just broke down. Hey guys, thank you so much. We've got some great characters coming up in the coming weeks. We've got some great other chats with, coming up. So keep listening and thank you for supporting us. We need you. You are our lifeblood. Oh, fuck you. Not really.
fuck you.
Emotionally.
Not really.
But next week we're going to be talking a lot about the catering. We're going to start out with a different theme, but it's going to become about the catering. We've already decided that. And then the week after that, we're going to be joined by Piss Drinker.
So I'm just writing down a sketch idea.
Are
What?
you?
Yeah.
What is it?
Just a joke idea.
Yeah.
I really liked the half metaphor into truth. I just liked that thing. It's like chili. A little bit is too much. Too much, and I don't want to work with you anymore. I just thought that was funny.
Funny and hurtful.
That is good.
So,
Have a great week.
I didn't mean it.
thank you so much.
And if it's your birthday, happy birthday. And if it's not your birthday, listen to this on your birthday. And happy birthday.
And I just want to say, Mark, Broden, what a journey this has been. It's so exciting for us to be at the start, and we banked them. And thanks for banking them with me, boys. I love you.
I love you too.
I love you too. I'll stop now.